Hello, everyone! The unexpected death of Malcolm Jamal Warner has sent shockwaves through fans and friends alike, but what's emerging in the aftermath is a long-buried truth that Phylicia Rashad has finally decided to reveal, one that centers around his Cosby Show co-star Tempestt Bledsoe and completely changes how we understand not only their on-screen bond, but the personal dynamics behind the scenes leading up to Malcolm's final days. In an emotional, unscripted conversation just days after Warner's passing, Phylicia broke years of dignified silence, pulling back the curtain on a private pain and unspoken loyalty that had quietly defined a relationship many had dismissed as merely fictional. According to Phylicia, what the world saw on television, Vanessa and Theo Huxtable teasing each other with the natural rhythm of siblings, wasn't just brilliant acting, but a real connection born out of years of mutual admiration, deep-rooted friendship, and most surprisingly, a secret emotional fracture that occurred off-camera and went unresolved for decades. Phylicia described how during the later years of The Cosby Show, as everyone was celebrating success and stardom, an emotional distance began to grow between Malcolm and Tempestt, a distance she quietly observed but never addressed publicly. There was a moment, Phylicia recalled, when Tempestt looked at Malcolm during rehearsals, and the warmth just wasn't there anymore. It was subtle, but I saw it, I felt it. What began as a shared journey of young fame slowly became a web of unspoken hurt, professional rivalry, and missed opportunities for healing. Malcolm, according to Phylicia, carried an emotional weight, something he never vocalized, but which came through in his eyes during quiet moments, and it all stemmed from what Phylicia now refers to as an invisible betrayal. While she remained vague about the specifics, she hinted at a critical moment when Malcolm reached out to Tempestt during a difficult period in his personal life, possibly around the time his music career was struggling or when his high-profile relationship with Regina King ended, but was met with silence. "I think he needed her, not as a co-star, not as a peer, but as a sister," Phylicia said, her voice cracking. "And she wasn't there. Not because she didn't care, but because sometimes we misread pain. We think it's distance. We think someone's shutting us out when really they're drowning." For years, the two remained professionally cordial, often seen smiling in group interviews and at reunions, but something underneath remained broken, and while both went on to lead productive lives, Malcolm earning accolades for his poetry, music, and acting, Tempestt establishing herself quietly in television and voice acting, the tension lingered in the margins. Then, according to Phylicia, something changed just months before Malcolm's passing. He reached out to her. "I know because she told me." They spoke, briefly, but it was enough to make peace. Not everything got fixed, but he told her, "I always loved you like a sister, even when I didn't know how to show it." That call, Phylicia believes, was Malcolm's way of closing a chapter he couldn't let end in bitterness. It wasn't dramatic. There were no tears or grand gestures, just two people, finally acknowledging years of confusion and hurt. Phylicia says that after his death, Tempestt was inconsolable. "She wept in my arms," Phylicia said. "And she said, I didn't know it mattered that much." That confession alone has redefined how those closest to them remember Malcolm's legacy. Not just as an actor or cultural icon, but as a human being
Valued
who sought
connection,
resolution.
and who, in his quietest hours, longed for the kind of familial love his TV character once took for granted. Phylicia's decision to speak now is not about scandal or sensationalism, but about healing. She believes fans deserve to know the full picture, not to tarnish Tempestt or canonize Malcolm, but to understand that fame doesn't protect anyone from fractured relationships or emotional wounds. In fact, it can often deepen them. Phylicia's voice grew stronger as she shared, "We celebrate Malcolm for what he gave us, but let's also honor the things he kept hidden. The friendships he missed, the healing he fought for, because that's what made him real. That's what made him beautiful." Her revelation not only reframes the narrative of a beloved television family, but also reminds viewers that the emotional stories we invest in on-screen often echo real-life complexities behind the scenes. It's a powerful reminder that beneath the applause and accolades are real people, flawed, hurting, growing, and sometimes the greatest tribute we can offer is to tell the truth they never got the chance to share. For fans of Malcolm Jamal Warner, Phylicia Rashad's raw honesty opens a new chapter in understanding the man behind the roles, the silent wounds that shaped his legacy, and the quiet redemption he found in the final act of a life lived under the spotlight but rich in unseen depth. Thanks for watching.